Hello, my name is Liz Hiller with NACE. I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, Vault is Back, the most trusted name in career intelligence. It is my pleasure to introduce the Campus Relations and Recruitment Marketing team from Vault. Take it away, team.
Good morning, or rather good afternoon for those of you that are on the East Coast. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn more about our return to Vault. I am Sharon Peacock, your National Sales Director for Career Services. A little bit about me. I have been in higher education for over 20 years. I have covered many of the offices on campus, including admissions, career services, and advising. I also am an instructor for the U.S. Naval Sea Cadet Corps. If any of you are military or have any experience there, I am the supply officer and one of the teachers for our current recruits. And just a little fun fact about me, I do speak 3 languages. I studied 2 languages up through college, and I am currently working on my 4th language. So that would be in addition to English, I've got Hebrew, French, and I'm currently working on Spanish.
Hi, everyone. My name is Frank Ciano. Pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for joining. For some of you that don't know me, I've been working within Career Services for the past 10 years, being your liaison to information regarding the Vault platform. That said, is the reason why I love working with Career Services, because I'm passionate about student success and making sure that everyone finds exactly what they want to do within their career. I'm also, as from a personal note, an avid golfer, yet haven't had a hole-in-one and probably going to be sidelined for the next couple of weeks here, as I do have an industry that hopefully doesn't affect my gameplay as I go forward. But again, thanks so much for joining, and we look forward to doing this presentation for you all.
And hello, I'm Alicia Jamison, excited to be co-presenting with Frank and Sharon here today. I am the Director of Sales and Recruitment Marketing for Vault. I've been in corporate sales and recruitment marketing for a decade, along with Frank, I am an avid golfer as well. I didn't want to repeat his bullet point there, but I am a competitive amateur golfer as well, and have a past life as a choreographer and dancer. Fun fact about me is I grew up on the Southern Coast. I have an East Coast work life and a West Coast living in San Francisco, where I currently reside, but always finding that oceanfront view. I'd love to, from here, pass it on to Sharon to talk about our campus relations side of the house, and then I will round out our conversation today talking about our corporate partnerships.
Thank you very much, Alicia. And as Alicia had mentioned, I will be talking about the campus side, our relationship with both the career services offices and as well with the students. So a little bit about Vault. What is Vault? Vault is a trusted resource for career services. For over 2 decades, we have been preparing students and job seekers to become career ready for today's evolving and competitive global job market. What does that mean? That means we provide a multitude of resources, everywhere from anything from the guidebooks to the rankings, employer profiles, and blogs and articles, in addition to several other resources that we're going to get into today, all to give students that leg up before they get to internships and the job board. We want to be sure that they are fully knowledgeable and fully prepared to put them right at the top of the funnel, so they are the first ones ahead when they're coming before those internship opportunities and job opportunities. So Vault is back. Why are we calling today's webinar Vault is Back? Well, as many of you may know, in June, we launched at NACE our Vault is Back opportunity. What we are doing is we are focusing on what has been the truly the core of what Vault has been historically as a career exploration resource. We are returning to simple navigation. We have dropped off the name Firsthand. So instead of being known as Vault Firsthand, we are now back to just Vault, the trusted resource. We have a very mobile friendly platform, so your students can access this at any time, anywhere. The content is very focused. The navigation is easy to find anything that's on the website. And we are continuously working to expand our digital content. And we will show you some of those instances today of the things that we have added in the last 2 months. It's very exciting. So just to give you a little idea, you have the three of us here from the corporate side of things, those that are, Frank works with our current clients, and I work with those that are interested or looking to return to Vault. This is all together, the three of us really create a symbiotic relationship for Vault. We have our schools, our campus partners, where we want to help provide them with a resource so they can get those students or those candidates educated and put at the top of the opportunities. Those candidates then come before our corporate partners and our firms that we work with to help grow and expand their companies. And then those firms are investing back into the schools by creating opportunities for their students, really expanding the resources that they have. And you'll hear more about the opportunities these corporate partners can provide schools by expanding knowledge of the professions that they have within their industry as well. So the first thing about Vault, the Vault guides, this is what we have, really where we come from. Some of you may be familiar with the Vault guides as a library resource going back, we'll say just 20 plus years. We don't need to give an exact number. You may remember going into the library, pulling out that hardcover heavy book with the crepey paper and turning the pages very carefully and reading about all the industries and professions that are out there. What's different is that we've now digitized this content. So instead of having to go to the library, look for those books, hopefully no one's looking in the book that you're trying to get into. Anyone can access any of the guides. We have over 230 guides available, covering a wealth of industries and professions. You see some of the guidebook examples that we have listed here on the side. Not all of them are industry and professions. Some are really going towards other content that are very valuable to students, like the resume and job hunting skills, behavior interviews, case interviews. But then again, it goes back into the professions with internet and social media opportunities, pharmaceutical and biotechnology. So you can see where we're covering, not just in where we historically have been in banking and accounting and consulting, but we've also expanded into liberal arts fields as well as STEM fields. So we've got the wealth and the gamut of content covered within the Vault guides. Our content, it's proprietary content. We have our own in-house editorial team that works on putting out the surveys to get this information from our corporate partners and put it directly back to the campuses and the students. So they are not going out on the internet. They're not searching any of the other work websites or job seeking websites to get this information. This is all of our in-house editorial team putting this information together for you. What's also really great about the guidebooks, as I've mentioned, they're digital, right? So now you don't have to go to the library. But even more exciting with this, let's say you have a student who's getting ready to go on a trip and they want to review one of the guidebooks. They can download the guidebook and then read it on any digital e-reader that they put on their, say, their phone or their tablet or their laptop, and they can read it while they're on a plane or on a train traveling somewhere. So it's very convenient and easy to access. The books are all available in EPUB or MOBI formats. Again, with any e-reader, they can review these. We also are currently in the process of updating over 50 titles of these guidebooks. So the information that you find inside is current and relevant. We are launching our inaugural cybersecurity guidebook, and we have a lot more STEM content to come. Now, as I already mentioned, we have proprietary career content. These quotes that we're getting from our corporate partners, employees, and their interns, this is verified information that we're getting, our editorial team is getting when we send out these surveys. You are not finding these quotes on Glassdoor or Nextdoor, and we're not requesting people to provide information so they can get information to get a salary. This is a survey that we put out with our partners, with their permission, and we will survey both the employees, and if they would like, we can also survey their interns to do the two different types of rankings. And then we will take this information and put it together in an employer profile, and students can then go in and review this content. And it's very valuable content. As you can see, it really helps a student to get inside the company before they're actually able to step foot on that job site or in that corporation, and see what's going on, see how the employees feel. We're giving all sides of the content that's being shared with us. This is literally coming from the horse's mouth, if you will. These interns and these employees are sharing these quotes, likes, dislikes, career development opportunities, diversity, the interview process. So we're really providing that inside information that's exclusive to Vault. You're not going to find this anywhere else. So how are students interacting with Vault? This is a website, but how does it help them? We have 4 real areas that we work with students along with our campuses, to help get students educated and prepared for their internships and their job boards. 1, they're going to explore. They can learn about all the different career paths that are out there. They can explore an industry. We do have areas where they can compare different professions that are out there. If you have a student that says, hey, I'm really interested in biology, but I'm not looking to go pre-med, what are my opportunities? They can compare the different professions and opportunities that are out there, as well as learning about those career paths. When they're moving forward, when they get this job, what is that path going to look like for them once they're in this position? Is it going to require a lateral move, or are they going to continue to be able to move upwardly within that position? What is the outlook like for this profession overall? It gives them the opportunity to research internship and employer insights, so they can learn more, not just about the job, but about the companies that are out there and what might be a better fit for them. Would they work well in a larger company? Would they work well in a smaller company? Seeing that insight with the proprietary content on the profiles really helps them get a better feeling for what's going to be the best fit for them. They will learn through our career advice blogs and our articles. We have a constant growing library of updated blogs and articles for students to reference, as well as for career centers to share. Once you have a subscription, you do have the ability to share any of the content that's within the platform. Students also have the ability to engage with our national and diversity career fairs. We have acquired Career Eco. So our numbers are increasing year over year, but we are up to over 250 career fairs annually. And this past Wednesday, some of you may already know, we had our 3rd annual Women in STEM event. So we are able to provide those opportunities at no cost for students to engage in. And here's our really big news. This is actually very exciting. In June, we have launched our Internship Resource Center. And this is your one-stop resource for everything for students to explore when they're pursuing their internship, be it the companies that offer internships, the internship profiles that they could look at within any of these companies that are participating in the surveys, as well as our expanded rankings for the internships. We offer, with those expanded rankings, the best programs for diversity, for roles, for industry, and so many, many more. We have internship career advice, as well as video content that students can review to learn about what is going to be the best fit for them for an internship. And just like the rest of our website, it is mobile friendly and easy to access for students when they are on the go. We have many more centers to come. We are in the process of launching our Banking and Finance Center, Resource Center, and we will have a STEM Center coming as well. And at this point, what I'm going to do is hand it over to Frank, who's going to do a deeper dive and show you even more of the exciting content that we have.
Thank you, Sharon. And let me just pull up my screen here.
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, over the next 15 minutes or so, what we're going to do is dive deep into the resource, highlight where these features items that Sharon was graciously enough to show us and highlight where they're found and located, and a little deeper dive into the content within. Navigate our internship resource center to show it live and how it connects to all sections of our platform. But one thing I'd like to point out is that we recently rechanged our homepage just to call and bring attention to some of our core sections within our site. Again, our guidebooks, our rankings, and that internship resource center. We also like to have on the homepage calls to those tremendous blog articles that Sharon was alluding to, just to give individuals, both staff and career services individuals and students alike, information on topics like internships, internship deadlines, a variety of topics as well, from job searching, graduate school, so on and so forth. So there's multiple ways of navigating, and that's again dependent on you're coming from the standard PC as I'm highlighting today, or if you're coming from your mobile device. But the first section that everyone should be going to is those proprietary, now digital guidebooks, over 200 of them, by merely selecting either guides on the homepage or selecting on the navigation section here on the left-hand side of the screen, the guides link. You'll be taken to a landing page that has numerous titles that are always coming out and being updated, as Sharon mentioned, about 50 new titles that will release in the next couple of weeks. If none of these titles are standing out to the user, what we normally see is that an individual will select the All Guides category. Now, to point out, these guidebooks are not just within industries or professions, as we mentioned earlier, even though you'll see initially accounting, advertising, banking. We have titles that talk about the interview process, internships for specific population of students. And if you can't find it here, it's going to be listed under other industries as well. Let's just choose accounting as the example. As we come to the landing page for accounting careers, you will notice that there's multiple titles within, and this is common within each one of the sections that we do have to offer within our platform. Titles that talk about the jobs, the employers, and even the industry altogether. All a user needs to do is either view now, clicking the view button, and we get taken to our embedded reader within the platform. Now, the first thing to point out is that if the user didn't want to read again through our embedded reader, we do have those functionalities to download, save it for future use, of course, access it offline in case you are traveling. EPUB is very common for a PC user who might be using Adobe Digital Editions, or a Mac user that's using Apple iBooks. So again, you could save it there. Or if not, just again, use our embedded reader, just giving two ways of accessing this great content. Now, speaking of the content, I'm going to open up the table of contents here, and just to show that these guidebooks are enriched with information. Of course, we're going to start with things that are covered, the basics. And if you notice with these down arrows, they all open up into other segments within our platform, sub-chapters, if you want to call them. And you can see here on the topics of the history, looking ahead, knowing the field, such as job searching, researching companies. We even have a talk like a pro. It's industry jargon in case they come across any terminology that is not of known to them. I just want to take us into a chapter because we do have a lot to show within other categories of our platform. And sometimes the most popular chapters tend to be around the topics of job searching in the industry, researching companies. When you select, you're taken to that chapter. You can see the ease of going through from page to page. And you're also noticing a lot of hyperlinks within these categories as well. Hyperlinks to either internal content within our platform or external means, as we never like to hog the spotlight. If there's a third-party organization that we feel has an article or some piece of information that will be best suited for, we go ahead and we promote that as well. But talking about promoting, I think one of the fascinating aspects of our guidebooks, and including our blogs alike, is that you have the ability to incorporate this content within career development courses, workshops that your offices might be putting forth. That's what subscriptions allow you to do. Whether you want to cut and paste content directly from these titles, as you can see here, we have the title information so you could credit back to us, or, and I'm going to take us outside of this embedded reader, is that every campus partner of ours has a unique identifying URL. In this scenario, we could see here, it says Vault Campus, and then you see the title information of that guidebook. You could take those links directly, put them within an LMS, share it across campus, maybe post it on social media, and users will be able to gain access to that content using that direct URL. So a great way of embedding it outside of the career services office, but in classrooms and workshops alike. All right, so we covered our guidebooks. Again, cornerstone of our platform and usually the first area that a user comes to. We have other categories listed on the left-hand side of the navigation screen, one in particular called careers. And this is where the user who is still doing their due diligence may be going ahead and looking at companies or internships, but first starting with, again, doing more research on those industries and professions that they one day will be working in. Since we looked at a guidebook that talked about an industry, and more importantly, since our industry and profession landing pages had the same look and feel, let's just use professions as the example right now. Now, we will list all the particular professions that are getting high demand traffic or hiring today for a user in a wide range of categories, as you can see here. If none of these are of interest for the user, they have the ability to look at all the thousands of profession profiles that we have within our platform, being able to scroll down and using that industry of the title that they just read, like accounting, and seeing all the professions that are tagged to that accounting industry here. They could also search by education level in case it's undergrad, graduate alike. Being able to select one of our profiles, as I'll do as the example for actuaries here, you can see that consistent on all of our profiles will give an overview all the way to other related professions. If I scroll down, instead of clicking, we'll get access to that information as well. Some of our profession profiles, as this one appears to be, has a video embedded within it. In case the user didn't want to read our introduction, they have a nice little 9-minute video that they could sit through that covers all the basis content that's found on these profiles. After that introduction, we have quick facts information talking about the skills, the experience, the personality traits, even alternative titles in case they were networking with alumni and trying to learn more about those roles as well. We'll talk about earnings, work environment, the outlook, and then give those links to the other related professions in order to have that end user go ahead and do more discovery on a profession that might fit them best. So that's a lot of the initial career exploration content within our platform through guidebooks, along with those industry and profession profiles. The next steps, and what we're probably dictating within our content, is saying that the user needs experience. And that's where that new internship resource center that we were talking about is really what we're seeing as a great way for our candidates to see all the content that we have geared around internships, such as our rankings, organizations that have taken part within our surveys that we have that proprietary survey data on, advice articles that just are consolidated to the topic at hand, and even if I scroll down a little bit further, the relevant guidebooks as well that are tagged here. That so there's no excuse by coming to our internship resource center, not only that the user will be educated on the organizations and how to be fully prepared, but of course being able to look at our guidebooks and get access to all of our rankings as Sharon referenced. We're going to go look at a ranking here, and we'll talk a little bit more later in this presentation about our rankings and all the opportunities that we have. But I'm going to click view all rankings for internships because there's a lot of them, because each one of our end users is different of what they're coming here to seek. Some, of course, want to hear about the most prestigious or the top 100 internship programs that are ranked each and every year within our organization. Others might be interested in learning about employment factor, the one that's going to give them the best quality of assignments as compared to my first internship many years ago, where I was merely going and getting coffee, or possibly looking at information where they could learn about good training and mentorship or quality of life. We've always done our diversity internships rankings as well for certain categories as well as an overall. And recently as well, we have broken down the internships by particular role. So if a user who has done their discovery, whether through guidebooks or profiles within our platform, realizes that they want to stay in finance or information technology, they could see internship programs that are ranked highly within those categories, or stick exclusively to the industry at hand, as they have that ability to do so too. Let's get us into a standard internship program profile, and we'll do so by going through one of our ranking categories here. I'll choose overall diversity. Now, talking about consistency within our platform is that no matter what ranking page you have landed on, you're going to first see our survey methodology. This just shows the end user how we've gone ahead and collected this data and how we have gone ahead and, more importantly, use this information to help the users find companies that matter most to them based off the topic at hand. So for this overall diversity. Now we say as the user scrolls, whether they assume they know something about the organization or if they've never heard of an organization before, is to come to a profile. I'll use US Cellular here as the example, and read what information has to be offered about that internship program. You'll get statistics of the headquarters of the organization, more importantly, an overview of the program that does provide great internship program statistics, such as the number of interns, the departments of functions, the location, if not virtual, the type of academic level, even a point of contact, application deadline as well. You'll learn about the program, see where else they have been ranked. So clearly this organization does a fantastic job within their not overall diversity, but broken down the other categories. You'll get a little teaser about the company because that goes hand in hand with this internship program. And then those proprietary quotes that Sharon was talking about, we'll list them directly here, from topics of quality of life all the way to likes and dislikes, because no opportunity is perfect, even if the organization is ranked within our company's rankings. Our commitment to digital content, as we have a lot of within our Why Internship section, video content on topics like how to prepare, question and FAQ, from individuals that have taken part in the previous internships. Some of our profiles will even talk about full-time job openings in case the user, already had an internship with this program or an internship with another organization, still doing their due diligence, they'll see that there. And then speaking of the hiring process, we'll always list information broken down by interview process, interview questions, compensation, full-time prospects, just really good information that might dictate, hey, you need to practice a case interview or behavioral interview questions. And we know that we have those guidebooks for that sort of information. Well, so nice little full circle approach. All right, I'm going to take us back to the homepage. As we finish up here, just want to show what a standard company profile looks like and how to go about searching it in case you didn't know the name of the organization and didn't come up to our search box here. But I want to make sure that we have a couple minutes as well to discuss other features within our platform that you see on the left-hand side of the page. So I'm going to select here this industry ranking dropdown. It takes us back to the careers landing page, as you saw previously, that has topics like industries, professions, companies, and internships, even practice areas, because a lot of the categories that we do cover have different practice areas, whether consulting, law, etc., even accounting as well. You could go into some of our feature rankings. You could scroll down and see other rankings. If you ever click view all, you'll just get taken to a standard ranking page. Very similar formatting, again, previously as our internships, but this would be life as a full-time employee at that organization, still covering overall prestige, but we do other things like boutique organizations, practice areas, as I mentioned previously, having the ability to look for what we call internally the best to work for, or topics like benefits to work-life balance and everything in between. Diversity, again, we even have other locations, not just North America, that we cover. So the EMEA and the Asia Pacific territory. You can see I'm a fan favorite of always using our diversity information as one of our 290 categories that we rank. Again, that survey methodology listed here. And then the ability, just like before, to scroll down, look at organization profiles, some of which, again, they might have spoken to alumni or had someone come to campus and done some form of information session. But if they wanted to get more of that insider survey data, click on the view profile, get taken to a standard full-time company profile that looks very similar, as we have office statistics, information on the overview, company stats as well, like the employment contact or how many large or small the organization might be. A little vault verdict is our editor's overview of looking at all the surveys about the company, and then again, those employee reviews, as well as the commitment to digital content about why I work here, and a getting hired section, as well as life as that full-time employee. So great information. Second step, as we say within our platform, to help the user identify internships and company research to help them decide if they want to pursue and or accept opportunities within these companies. Now, to help stand out and be that shining star candidate, we've recently added our upskilling content to the platform. Upskilling allows the individual, as you see trending topics here, whether it's about leadership skills, communication skills, job searching, career readiness. We have a collection of 70 courseware within a model that's called Learn It and Prove It. Well, they'll learn through the breadth of video content and then take quizzes to make sure that they are able to obtain the certification, that they've passed a rigorous test to make sure that they're well adversed within that topic at hand. And then finally, as we mentioned earlier, with our partnership and our acquisition of the Career Eco platform is that members of the Vault subscribing institution community do have access to their students, I should say, have access of attending a variety of events that are put on, over 250 every given year, events that are talked about for certain populations or topics. As you mentioned previously, we have our annual diversity and inclusion internship event approaching on the 28th. So that's some fantastic information as well to help connect students with employers outside of those categories that we saw previously. And then let's end with the library. The library is a collection that not only also houses our guidebooks, because again, we don't want users to miss out on those, but the libraries also have great blog articles and other archived articles in the topics like exploring careers. So if we look at internships, there's another redirect to our internship resource center. If we look at the topic like getting a job, you have a resume database, but also topics such as day in the life and interviewing, thriving at work for the individual that might be an alumni or close to being an alumni, right? Someone working within an organization, talking about changing jobs, negotiating salary. All these articles, whether they're being presented in our editorial picks for that week or broken down here within the topics at hand, have the ability just to merely select. And I'll just take an article here. As you can see who it's written by, so you can see other trending articles that editor has done here at our organization. You can see when it was written, so earlier today, and on the topic, great topic, of course, on the sense of the application deadlines and requirements broken down by industry. You'll see our blog articles have a lot of redirects, just like our guidebooks did, to allow that user to select and get taken to another section within our platform, maybe a ranking or a profile, maybe an external site as well. And again, just like our guides, this information could be shared, whether you want to copy that URL for direct access to the area or take snippets of information, again, just cite back to us. So I know it was quick and there's so much that we could have spent more time diving deep into, but those are the core functionalities and the trafficked areas of our platform, being our guidebooks, our internship resource center that includes those profiles for internships and the rankings, full-time company profiles, and our blog articles that are written by our in-house team of editors who are experts in the field that they're talking about. Those are some of our core functionalities that we have and that we're looking forward to continue to get more eyes onto those contents as we proceed. So now that we have a good understanding of where this content, as Sharon dictated, it comes about and where it lives within the platform, let's talk about how we go about and gather our content from the third part of our ecosystem wheel, that being from the corporate side of the house.
Thank you, Frank, and I'm excited to share some insight into some of the strategies we deploy on the corporate side of the house here at Vault. Vault partners with thousands of employees and a number of brand recruitment, marketing, and engagement strategies. And I'll go ahead and share my screen here. There we go. Yeah, as you can see here, we work with thousands of organizations through a number of engagement strategies, from company, survey and rankings, banner advertising, employer profiles, blogs, featured firm tiles, as you can see here in this example. Some of this we already went through, but from the corporate perspective, lots of opportunities to engage our broader network. I'll touch on the career fairs. We have a number of annual diversity-focused nationwide events that we put on, and you can see the employer traffic here to these events, looking for diverse talent across the globe to recruit. This is also a branding play, talking about and highlighting their DEI initiatives, and doing one-on-one recruitment at these events. We partner with Career Eco, as was mentioned earlier, our sister company. As a former recruiter myself, as far as platforms go, they're really a pioneer in the space. They've been around for over a decade, long before everybody suddenly had a virtual platform come pandemic. And they worked through a lot of those kinks before the pandemic. So it's a really nice platform from an engagement standpoint, also from a reporting standpoint, post-fair, and a number of opportunities for your students to seek out on that campus platform as well through that career events link. Our surveys are probably the biggest driver of employer traffic to Vault. We have some core verticals that we work within. We have banking, accounting, consulting. We're launching STEM soon, which is really exciting, law. And then internship is kind of our industry agnostic, opening the worldwide universe of internships across any and all industries that participate. I saw a question pop up already earlier about our ranking system. We take pride in this not being a pay-to-play survey. This is a free survey. We welcome anybody who's eligible to participate in our surveys to come participate. We provide a survey link that they are distributing only to their internal audience. It's unique to that firm. And we're capturing the insights and feedback direct from their employees and interns. This is not a crowdsourcing method of, hey, get all of your friends to vote on your firm. This is straight from the ratings of your employees and interns. How you perform in a number of factors, from quality of life factors, from employment factors, diversity factors, and then all of those equate to eligible subcategory rankings. And then our overall vault rankings methodology is a straightforward methodology that you can see on the side, as Frank pointed out earlier, where we weight different categories, from the interview process to compensation and benefits, et cetera, and come up with those rankings based off of your internal scoring from your employees and interns. It is an anonymous survey as well. We are not capturing any proprietary data from your employees. We do not want to capture it. And there's no panel of judges deciding we like one company over the other. Which is what makes our survey so appealing to organizations, as well as the receiving end of peer groups and candidates and whatnot. So on the back of rankings, obviously, it's, when a company ranks, we like to showcase it. Yay, we ranked. We have a number of badges and seals that you can distribute through your marketing materials to showcase that vault ranking, that vault verified ranking, straight from your interns and employees. Beyond that, there's added value to participating in the survey, and we see firms kind of kill two birds with one stone. It's nice to have your own internal survey. I know, for myself, when I take an internal survey, I'm wondering who's looking over my back, over my shoulder, wondering who has my IP address and is looking at what I filled out in the commentary section. Nice thing about our survey is it's anonymous. It's a third-party survey provider. We cover a lot of, HR kind of check the box questions that you would want data surrounding, and we can package that up in a research report for you, so you can find out not only what your score was in every category, whether you ranked in it or didn't, across the board, what's the mean average of scores of our employees and interns, but also how did that benchmark against the survey at large, our industry at large, or across all internship programs. And we'll provide insight into decision-making factors. Why are they choosing your organization over another? Why, what's important to internship seekers or career seekers at large, depending on the survey. So this is something that I always highly recommend. We have just like we have a built out editorial team managing all of our editorial content, we have a built out survey and research team that is dedicated to providing, all sorts of benchmarking data points for your firm to learn from and grow from. Employer profiles, beyond all the wonderful enriched editorial content that we provide on these firms, we offer an opportunity for firms to add in their own voice, their own language, brand messaging. Hey, this is what our culture looks like. Let's drop in some video content. We have video hosting, photo hosting, job posting, but all sorts of smart tabs where they can click in and learn more from the source what it's like to work at your organization. So add in those videos, add in that narrative that talks about, what the summer experience is like, networking opportunities, the diversity story, et cetera, beyond the proprietary content that we are putting on your profiles. This is also the landing page for your rankings. So as students and candidates are coming to your page to, from those rankings to learn more, this is your opportunity to really highlight those initiatives that you care about, practice areas, etc. Blog content is another big driver of traffic and attention. As you all know, Vault is, that's the name of our game. We are a career readiness content provider. We do also offer the opportunity for firms to provide their own blog narrative. And this can be in a number of formats. You can do podcasting, you can do video content. In this case, written dialogue about, how you can turn summer internship into the best summer of your life. Obviously, there's respect on the campus side for these articles because it is coming straight from that company, that corporation, talking about their program, a little more insight beyond all of the wonderful content that we are constantly churning out here at Vault. And getting to the really exciting news of internship resource centers and all of the other resource centers following, banking and finance, the STEM resource center to come, our law resource centers. We are thrilled to be standing this up. This is our consolidated view of everything and anything related to that industry vertical. In this case, with this example, the Intern Resource Center, any fairs that we have, any advice to interns, related guidebooks. We are going to be introducing video content and other enriched content as well. But this is an opportunity for employers to highlight, a ranking, a quote from the survey, something that really speaks to their culture, and highlight it directly on their employer tile on this page as we're driving traffic to those profiles from this page. And I'll wrap it up there and open it up to questions. Thank you all for attending today. If you have further questions or want to get in touch about partnership opportunities, please take down this email right here and email us. This will go direct to myself, Sharon, Frank, and happy to respond and set up a time to have a one-on-one conversation.
All right, I'm seeing that we do have a few questions in here, and thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Frank. I hope you all find that this has been very resourceful for you to learn more about our Vault platform, but we do see that you guys do have a few questions, so we're going to try to address the questions we can to the best of our capability within the time that we have left. If you do have additional questions that we don't get to, please feel free, as Alicia said, to take down this email address and reach out to us, and we will do the best that we can. I will go ahead and address one of the questions we had been asked about regarding when I had mentioned the switch from Vault Firsthand to just vault.com, about the Firsthand website that's still available. This is currently still available just to our clients that use mentoring. So the Firsthand will continue to exist for those clients who still use the mentoring. We are not currently expanding those partnerships at this time. So for all current non-mentoring partners and new partners moving forward on the academic side, we will be utilizing vault.com for all of our resources. With regarding to the presentation that will be sent out, as was mentioned at the start of this, you will have constant access via NACE, and we will share the content that has been presented to you all in here. Frank, did you want to speak to any of the questions?
Yeah, thank you again for all the questions. And just to reiterate, for questions, since we have access to the Q&A section within the Zoom, please put your questions within there instead of the chat area. Just makes it easier for us to navigate and collect those questions as well once this is actually ended, so we can follow up offline in case we run out of time. There's a question about filterability in regards to internships. So we do have a category within the platform in the career section that says internships as well as companies. From there, you have the ability to search not only by location, but you could search it by the area of interest, or the industry, I should say. You have the ability of also searching by company size, in case you were looking for more of a boutique organization. So you do have those search capabilities on the landing page. We just don't have a ranking based off of by location, as that's how I was highlighting as we got to one of our profiles coming directly from the Internship Resource Center. We also had a couple of questions that came out about the additional content Career Eco, as well as the upskilling. For those of you that have institutional subscriptions with us, or those that don't, and of course have interest on the entire resource and those two features as well, just do us a favor and email vaultcampus@vault.com. Those are just our white label settings for your account that we'll have to go ahead and add if you see value, of course, of doing so. So please do that, or if not, just reach out to your individual customer success manager, but this email address is connected to all of us here, so we will make sure to answer those accordingly. I also saw a question, I'm just trying to find it again, about URLs. Yes, so our URL will be changing. Right now, institutions have URLs that are branded to their campus. That's university X, Y, and Z .firsthand.co. Those URLs are changing to X, Y, and Z University to vault.com. If you had any bookmarks, for example, of that firsthand.co, those will remain live until January 2024 to give you ample time to make as many changes to links and how you go ahead and promote us, perhaps within an LMS or a Handshake portal or Simplicity 1220, however you go about and promote our site, your branded URL. So those are changing. Again, if your institution hasn't already changed over the URL, please feel free to reach out to your CSM or send us to the vaultcampus@vault.com domain there.
We do also have a few questions regarding pricing. This is a subscription platform, and pricing is available. If you send an email to vaultcampus@vault.com, I am happy to work with you to secure your institution's pricing. It is based on the enrollment size of your institution, so feel free to reach out if you're looking for more information, or if you would like to have a personalized demo for your team. We can get that scheduled, as well as get you a pricing proposal.
We have another question just about the events. I'll just jump in here. Question that came about in the best ways of promoting it. So all of our events, again, can be embedded within your white labeled portal. So when a user comes to the events tab on the left-hand navigation page of the site, they'll go ahead and they'll select and be taken to all those fairs specifically. If you wanted to take one of those fairs and then promote it, you have the ability to do so through your own CRM, your events pages, just by copying our registration URL, as we do use the Career Eco platform for all of our virtual events, and you can make your own promotion of it within the ways that you go ahead and promote other events as well. So yes, that's a capability of the events module. All right, we're still looking at the questions. Bear with us because there's a lot, and that's great.
Oh, Frank, we do have a question that you may want to speak to. Are the guides and career information just in text format, or is there info that can be shared with videos too?
So we do have our video content. It's not within the guidebooks themselves. They're located within our profession profiles. These videos range from anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, but we're also coming out with new videos and series that you'll see within our blog articles. Again, our commitment to more digital content on the platform in that sense of a viewing method that we see a lot of today's users prefer. But for content that's not guide textbook related, again, the videos are located within the library, as well as the career sections under professions.
And another question regarding the upskill courses that we have in there. The NACE competencies are addressed within the structure of the courses, in addition to the fact, and this may be relevant for those that are asking about what do we have accessible for undocumented students. The upskill courses are available in 9 different foreign languages, so students can take those courses in their natural language and receive that mastery. And also within the internship profiles that we have, we do note what internships are available to international students. So if you have an international student that is looking for an internship, they'll be able to identify which companies are open to offering them a position.
Now let's continue to review some of these questions here.
You all have great questions, that's for sure.
And I'm also looking over some of the questions here that came to the chat. It's a little bit harder for us to do so since there's a lot. We did have a question regarding our partnership with the UConnect platform. We have already been working with the UConnect team there. So luckily that in the sense of integrations and changes, that's all going to be handled separately without really true lift on the schools. And so yes, that would be uninterrupted, the connection that we have to our collection of guidebooks. I don't know if we addressed as I just saw it. This is pre-recorded. This is not pre-recorded, excuse me. This is live, but we are recording it, and you'll be able to access that through the NACE community events channel. All right,
Frank, we've had a couple questions to repeat the new URL.
Yeah, just the new URL, please reach out to that Vault Campus at vault.com email address. You might need, if you have single sign-on currently listed, single sign-on would be something that we need the help of your IT folks just to change the metadata, but the URLs can be changed now up until the mid-January 2024, depending on how quick you can make those changes, as those previous URLs are the ones that are currently being promoted at some of the institutions do in fact will work until that winter deadline. And I could see already some people are emailing us about those new URLs, so that's perfect to have here.
We do have a question about marketing the fairs that are available within Career Eco. There is the link out within the Vault campus, but you do have the ability to market any of these fairs. They are free to your students, free to job seekers. So your students, your alumni, if they're coming back and looking for an opportunity to participate in a fair, maybe pivot within their career, they have the ability to attend these and you can market to them. We do not market as broadly the smaller fairs, but we did post the Women in STEM event in Handshake, so that was available on a larger scale. We do have a partnership with Handshake to do our 3 large career fairs that are done annually: Women in STEM, Diversity and Inclusion in Internships, and 1L Law career fair that we do in the fall as well. But you can choose to market any of these events as you see fit. You can use the links that are provided for the registration and share those as you see appropriate. With students, if you have a group of students that would be a good fit for an event, you're more than welcome to market any of these events. Frank, question, is the home screen different depending on whether or not you have mentoring or not?
No, once that new URL change takes in place, that new homepage will go into effect as well. It is a white label setting right now, so there are some schools that haven't made the changeover because they're waiting to update their own marketing materials of such. Speaking of marketing materials, we have a new updated Vault Support Center that has materials as well. If you wanted access to that, feel free again to email us and we'll give you a great suite of information. But that will change depending on the white label setting that we will go ahead and make on our back end. So you can get that new homepage and get more clicks to the areas, of course, that have great features such as our guidebooks, our rankings, and the Internship Resource Center.
And I do see a question coming back to those internship rankings and what they're based on, prestige, salary, survey, intern surveys, etc. So the internship survey, the way we capture those rankings is basically interns are rating a number of categories on a 1 to 10 scale and providing commentary to support that around diversity metrics, around quality of assignments, networking opportunities, mentorship, etc. All sorts of areas in the survey. Those in and of themselves are a potential ranking. depending on how your interns score your program. But ultimately, we take the mean average of scores and we weight a few different categories for the methodology behind the overall top 100 list that we come up with. So you can see that methodology directly on our rankings page. You can drop down the methodology and it'll outline, the percentage weight associated with that score for that category and the overall score that you come up with. It's pitted against other internship programs, and that's how we come up with the rankings list.
Again, a lot of great questions, and we appreciate such a high attendance rate. Again, if there are any questions that might come about after, or certain questions that are more specific to your campus that we'll address, we will be following up based off the questions that were wrote into the Q&A. Again, so address your questions there in case we missed any within the chat, and we will follow up on that. But we're, I guess the roll call here of going once, going twice comes into play. For any final questions, please go ahead and dictate it. Again, we are excited that Vault is back. Glad to see that you are excited as well, and look forward to having conversations with you all as we go forward.
Thank you all for joining today.
Yes, thank you all.